Hello guys, it's Johnny Time and welcome to another crypto and DeFi decentralized finance tutorial. Today we're going to speak about Bitcoin and in particular why I think that one day Bitcoin is going to reach $18 million per Bitcoin. And if it's interesting for you and if you like my content, consider subscribing and smashing that like button. So anytime I post new videos, you can watch them as soon as possible. Don't think twice, subscribe and also click the like button so YouTube will expose it to many more people that can learn about crypto, DeFi and Bitcoin in particular. So why I think that Bitcoin gonna reach $18 million, I just summarize it. The entire video is about comparing US dollar to Bitcoin and we are going to see the main differences and why I, Johnny Time, feel so much confidence in holding Bitcoin, BTC token for long term rather than any other asset. But first we need to understand what fiat money is and what does money means. Basically, fiat money is all the money that you're familiar with these days. The US dollars, doesn't matter, it's all pegged to the US dollars, it's all connected to the US dollars, but doesn't matter which country you are, you have fiat money. Fiat money is a government issued currency, and you can see here the definition from Investopedia. Fiat money is government issued currency that is not backed by a physical commodity right now. In the past it used to be backed by physical commodity such as gold or silver, but rather by the government that issue it. So the only thing that backs the fiat money is the promise, the trust on the government. The value of fiat money is derived from the relationship between supply and demand and the stability of the issuing government rather than the worth of a commodity backing it. Most modern paper currencies are fiat currencies, including the US dollar, the euro, and other major currencies. So now we understand what is fiat money. All the money that you're using in your country is called fiat money. And now we understand that it's also the value of fiat money is actually correlated to how much you trust the government. And I want to ask you, do you trust your government? How much do you trust the government? How much do you feel that recently people are trusting the governments? Now, in the past, actually, money, US dollars were connected and pegged and backed up by reserve of gold. So for the US Treasury, it had a storage of gold that is related to how much it prints bills of US dollars until President Nixon came in 1971, and you can read it right here in Wikipedia. It's all on the internet. I will put links in the description below. The Nixon Shock it's called the Nixon Shock because everyone was shocked. The Nixon Shock was a series of economic measures undertaken by United States President Richard Nixon in 1971 in response to blah 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 blah, and the unilateral cancellation of direct international convertibility of United States dollars to gold. So Nixon woke up one day. It was not like one day, but he thought about it a lot of time. They had a war with Vietnam. There were a lot of crises in the US, and he decided one day that from now on, the US dollar is not connected to the gold anymore, which means that the US government can print, the US Treasury can print as many dollars bills as they wish, and they control it, and it's not connected to gold. And look what happened since then, guys. This is a chart from 1917 till this day, till 2029, of the dollar, the currency in US dollar currency in circulation. So you can see that right after 1970, we have a huge rise in the currency, in the supply, especially between 2020 and 2021, when the Federal Reserve will keep printing US dollars. And what do you think that the value of your US dollars are doing while they're sitting in your bank account? You think and tell me. I want you to think yourself. I don't want to tell you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you here facts in charts, in data, in Wikipedia, and making your brain think for itself. What do you think your fiat money, if it's dollars, if it's zlotys, if it's euros, or if it's, I don't know, other lira that you hold, Turkish lira, I don't mind. What do you think it's doing? Is it appreciating or is it going down? What happens when there is more and more and more assets or token in supply? the value is going down. And actually, you can see it right here. This is the buying power of $1 over time from 1913 to 2020. So the more you hold the US dollar, the less purchasing power, which means that in the past you could buy a bottle of milk for, let's say, $1. Now it will cost $7, for example. This is just an example, but the idea here is that the value of the fiat money is going down during the years, and this is the chart. And you know, I get it a lot usually from people who are newbies in crypto and Bitcoin, and they tell me, aren't you, usually it comes also from parents, aren't you afraid to invest in such a volatile asset? In Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's cryptocurrencies, it's internet money, it can be hacked, it can be stolen, it can crash. And you know what my answer is? I don't mind the volatility. I rather hold assets that their volatility is like this. Okay, so I don't care. Volatility means how volatile the assets, how much it goes up and down. So it can go all the way to $1,000 and then crash to $200. But I don't mind to go to 1,000 and crash to 200 because I know that the long term of it will go higher and higher. So the volatility in the short term is not very important for me if you're looking at long-term holdings and investment and holding and increasing your value for a long time. But wait, we'll get to Bitcoin in a moment. So this is actually the buying power, and actually you can see here, this is the Federal Reserve, the organization that is responsible for the printing order. The printing order this is the organization that every year says how many 100 bills will be printed, how many 50 bills, and here you have all the data. So look what happened between 2020 to 2021 because of the pandemic and a lot of people are unemployed. You need to boost the economy, and you can see that the number of bills of $100, this kind of blue section here, the blue chart in the chart, you can see that it's tripled. It tripled. Now what about the $50? Doubled. You see the pink small one here, and the $20 also doubled. So you can see that the dollars, they print even faster. They're accelerating the rhythm of printing dollars. So what if this happened for the dollar? What will happen from 2020 to 2021? Again, I don't have the answers for you. You think by yourself. This is the data. These are the facts. Now you are probably afraid. What should I do? I have dollars in my bank account. And what is the asset that I can put my money that it will not go higher? I just want to preserve the value. So the same $100 today, maybe in 100 years, it would be the same $100 and I would be able to buy resources for the same amount of value. Now let's speak about Bitcoin. The future of Bitcoin block rewards. So we understand now that the value of an asset is actually dependent of how much we create of this asset. The more we create from the asset, the more supply there is from this asset. If everyone has dollars, then no one wants to get the dollars because there are too many dollars. All the other assets goes up. And let's understand what's the actually Bitcoin supply, because if the supply is very high, then we might think, okay, Bitcoin is not a good investment for us because there are so many Bitcoins, everyone have them, the price will not appreciate. But let's try to understand what's the Bitcoin, how the supply works. So the future of Bitcoin block rewards, to limit inflation, Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto designed Bitcoin to ultimately have only 21 million Bitcoins. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoins in the supply. This is not much. This is very not much. I don't know how many US dollars there are there, but I'm sure it's more than trillions. This is why the size of Bitcoin block rewards is halved after the creation of every 2010 blocks, which takes around 4 years. At Bitcoin inception in 2009, each block reward was worth 50 Bitcoins. Every block, if you don't know, in Bitcoin, it's a blockchain, and every block there is a reward that goes to the miners. In 2009, when the Bitcoin network started, every miner won 50 Bitcoin if he was the one who validated and found the right block. In May 2020, not now, but 1 year ago, block reward was halved a third time to 6.25 Bitcoin. So the more time passes, actually, the amount of Bitcoin that is being created is being halved, reduced by half, which makes Bitcoin more rare and more hard to create or find, or you name it. And as of May 2021, there were already 18.7 million Bitcoins in existence, or nearly 90% of the total planned supply. So actually, we understand and learn about it that every 4 years, every around 2010 blocks, so every 10 minutes there is a block. If you multiply 10 minutes by 2010 blocks, you get around 4 years, and this time is actually when the block reward is being halved. So right now you can see that the block reward is 6.25 and it will be halved to 3.125 in 837 days. So this is some kind of nice countdown that we have in CoinMarketCap. Now we understand how Bitcoin supply works. And you know what? Sorry, another thing that we didn't think about is actually that this number, 18.7 million Bitcoins in existence, is not true. Why? Because you forget that there are so many people who lost their private key. I heard so many stories about people who bought Bitcoin in 2010, 2013, and unfortunately something happened to their computer where they backed up their private key, or maybe they wrote it in some kind of note and they lost it. Maybe the hard drive got damaged or something. So there are a lot of people who just lost their private keys, and these Bitcoins that they lost are gone. They are gone. They are not restorable. They are burned. And it's not like US dollars where you can print again and again. If you lost your Bitcoin, it's not recoverable. So this is actually not 21 million. The max supply will be much less because there are a lot of lost Bitcoins that people lost their private keys. And this chart is super, super nice. You can see this is a projection of Bitcoin inflation over time. So you can see here that the more the blocks go here, the more we move on the timeline, you can see that this kind of inflation rate, this red line represents the inflation rate in Bitcoin, and this is the Bitcoins that are being created in terms of supply. You can see the percentage here, so it's from 0 to 100%. So the more time passes, the Bitcoin gets less inflationary and more deflationary. And this is the reason that you are seeing that Bitcoin is always rising, especially after those kind of halving events, because it's getting more and more rare, and it is actually the only currency, not the only currency, because there are new currencies, there is Ethereum, there are so many blockchains that I talk about it in my channel. If you like this video, check out my channel. I have so much educational video that you can watch and get started and get more education, get started with investing in DeFi and crypto. So watch my channel. It's not a financial advice, just give you free education for me, from Johnny Time to you, from my experience to you. So Bitcoin is getting more deflationary, and I feel safe holding my Bitcoins for long term, because it was the first monetary system that is never controlled by any third parties, by any government. It's internet money. It's money that represents trust between people, and it's actually bringing us back. The main reason of money is system of value. It enables us to deliver value and give value to one of each other in a fair and trustworthy way. And Bitcoin was the first one to do it. So there are people who are arguing that Bitcoin is not good for this because he has a lot of fees and it's rare, but you can always trade and send Satoshis. And that's why we have stable coins and other tokens, but this is not for this video. This is just, I want to show you a lesson about fiat money related to Bitcoin and crypto, and why I think that Bitcoin will reach, I'm quite sure that it will reach one day $18 million. So this was the video about fiat money and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this video, and please consider subscribing, click the bell notification button, and if you like this video, tell about it to your friends so they can watch it as well and learn about crypto and DeFi. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next guide. Bye bye.